Don't let probate take your home. How to avoid probate in Oregon and California. Why do you own real estate? Is it to bless your family, to leave a legacy, to ensure that the wealth you've built over a lifetime actually stays with the people you love? Here's the hard truth. Without a plan, your real estate could become the very thing that divides your family. In California and Oregon, two of the highest valued real estate markets in the country, probate is not just slow, it's expensive, and it can cause heartache for years. Take one Southern California family I worked with. Their father passed away suddenly, leaving behind a home in San Clemente worth nearly $2.5 million. Because there was no trust, that home sat in the probate court for over a year. The family spent tens of thousands on attorney fees, and the siblings barely spoke to each other by the end. I'm Timm, real estate wealth advisor, licensed in both California and Oregon. I specialize in helping families in places like Portland, Beaverton, and Lake Oswego, as well as San Clemente, Dana Point, Laguna Beach, and Newport Beach, create real estate plans that grow, protect, and transfer generational wealth. Because your legacy begins with a real estate plan. And before we dive in, a quick disclaimer. I'm not an attorney, a CPA, or financial advisor. Everything I share here is for educational purposes only. Please consult with a qualified professional for advice specific to your situation. So what is probate? Probate is the court-supervised process of distributing property after someone passes away. Sounds simple, right? But in practice, it's slow, it's costly, and it's public. Here's how it works. A petition is filed with the court to open probate. Creditors and heirs are formally notified. The estate's assets, including real estate, are inventoried and appraised. Debts, taxes, and fees are paid. Only then is what's left distributed to heirs. In California, probate takes 9 to 18 months and longer if there are disputes. In Oregon, it's typically 6 to 12 months, but delays are common. And then there's the cost. In California, attorneys don't charge hourly. They're paid by statute, a percentage of the estate's value. So a $4 million home in Laguna Beach, that means a huge legal bill, even if there's still a mortgage. And don't forget, probate is public record. That means anyone can see what you owned, what it sold for, and what debts you left behind. And here's what families really think about. Probate doesn't just drain wealth, it drains peace of mind. I've seen brothers and sisters stop talking to each other for years because probate forced every decision into the courtroom. Now, why does probate hit harder in California and Oregon? One word: value. Probate fees are based on the gross property value, not the equity. So let's say you have a home in Newport Beach worth $3 million. But you still own $1 million on the mortgage. Fees are still calculated on the $3 million, not the $2 million in equity. In Portland's Pearl District, families who bought a condo in the 1990s for $200,000 may now be sitting on a property worth over $1 million. That appreciation looks great on paper until probate court steps in and attaches statutory fees. And then there's capital gains tax. If a home is sold during probate, your heirs could face timing issues that leave them exposed to taxes at the worst possible moment. The bottom line? In markets like Tigard, Portland, San Clemente, Dana Point, and Laguna Beach, even modest homes can easily cross the threshold that makes probate painful. If you own property in these areas, probate is not something you can afford to ignore. Now the good news. Probate is avoidable. So let's look at 5 proven strategies families in California and Oregon use to protect their real estate. Number 1, living trusts. Most common solution. Transfer ownership into a trust during your lifetime. You stay in control as trustee. When you pass, property transfers directly to beneficiaries. No probate. Bonus, trusts are private. Number 2, joint tenancy or tenancy by the entirety. Property passes automatically to the surviving spouse or co-owner. Works well for married couples, but can create tax or fairness issues in blended families. Number 3, transfer on death deeds. Available in both California and Oregon. Lets you record who inherits the property now, effective later. Simpler than a trust, but avoids probate. Number 4, LLCs, DSTs, and partnerships. For investors especially, holding properties in an LLC or DST means heirs inherit ownership units, not the real estate itself. This keeps assets out of probate, and DSTs provide passive income for heirs without the headaches of being landlords. For example, a rental in Dana Point held inside a DST will continue to pay income to the heirs immediately with no court delays. 5, lifetime gifting. Some families choose to gift property during their lifetime, but caution, gifting can create significant tax issues and eliminate step-up in basis. Always check with your attorney or CPA before going this route. Let's also cover common mistakes I see families make. Number 1, thinking a will avoids probate. In both California and Oregon, wills go straight through probate. Number 2, adding kids directly to title. This can backfire if that child divorces, gets sued, or files bankruptcy. Suddenly your family home is vulnerable. Number 3, failing to update documents. Divorce, remarriage, or moving across state lines can all change how assets transfer. Ignoring taxes. Avoiding probate doesn't mean avoiding capital gains. Without a coordinated plan, heirs may face both court delays and tax bills. And now for a myth. If I don't have a lot of assets, I don't need a plan. Truth. Even modest estates in Portland and San Juan Capistrano qualify for probate. The process is still costly and time-consuming. The good news is this. Probate is avoidable, but only if you act. I've worked with families in both Portland metro area and Southern California's coast who told me we wish we had done this sooner. A simple trust, deed, or entity plan could have saved them thousands of dollars, months of waiting, and most importantly, reserved their family relationships. So ask yourself, if something happened to me tomorrow, would my real estate bless my family or burden my family? I'm Jennifer Timm, Real Estate Wealth Advisor, and believe this, your legacy begins with a real estate plan. Remember, I'm not an attorney, CPA, or financial advisor. This video is for educational purposes only, and you should always consult with your professional team. If this video was helpful, subscribe now, share it with someone you care about, and let's make sure your real estate is always a blessing and never a burden.